Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the art review series. And today we have a new episode in the art review Jesus. Today we're reviewing the work of Kaga 0 or 0465 or and I'm not even sure what that means. And we'll just say Kaga because oh, by the way, Xfolio I believe is a new site. Because I've seen some Japanese artists transition to this Xfolio, so I think I did make an account just because. But yeah, so you can check out their full portfolio here on Xfolio. I will link this page in the description below. And yeah, so there are reasons as to why I um subscribed or followed this guy or this artist because I mean, yeah, the line work stuff, obviously this is like the base. You know, the drawing is the foundation of their artwork, or for most artists. Once you have a good solid drawing foundation, what you paint on top of it is going to be even better. For example, this all you have is like the line drawing, but also some flats, right? But I think they can go beyond that. Obviously, if you look at stuff like, if I may, let me just like one of my extensions is not working, so let me just pause. Got it. It's working now. So let me just go. I think it was this. Let me just open this in a damn in a new tab. Come on. Okay, there you go. This one too. This one. Now, when they use their grays, it is on the warmer side. Uh, there you go. But just looking at their body of work here, I think they're not really doing a lot of colors in their work. It's almost always monochrome. Now, this one, this specific piece, reminds me a little bit of Okinawanogori. He's an artist from where I found him in Twitter or X. And he doesn't really do, he does his work traditionally. So I guess the line work or the way the drawing was done reminded me of Okinawanogori. And I'm guessing Kaga over here does this on the iPad. Looks like it. Just my guess. But I do like the pencil work here. It's kind of dark, almost like they're using a charcoal pencil or something. Uh, and yeah, but the way they render too, I don't see a lot of texture work in their rendering. I think it's mostly a bunch of basic brushes. Let me just oh yeah. Let me zoom in into there. Oh, they do have this strong silhouette line on the or contour line, kind of like Art Nouveau esque, right? Just to embolden it and separate it from the background. It does give a very strong impact. Um, so there's that. But if you zoom in on their painting style, yeah, not much textures. It's just solid rendering. Um, and just by this like value, this monochrome kind of vibe, you can tell that the values are um the strong suit of this. Ooh, damn. Obviously, Kaga likes them thick. Right? So here we have like a dragon. I believe it's some kind of reptilian. So this is the reptile reference here. Um, it does look a little bit like a dragon, I guess. Just because I've seen a bunch of anime girls with like tails of like sharks, snakes. In this case, like a lizard or dragon. And I like the way the fat was done here. Like it seems so. I mean, obviously it's big, it's chunky, got some meat, right? But it looks kind of natural. When the body folds, you will see this types of um squishiness. So I do like that. But even if you zoom in, look at how the rendering is not like super. Like they could go further and refine things even more, but they stop to a point. And I think their idea here is if you zoom out and it looks finished in this range, then they kind of just stop there, right? But if you do zoom in, you will see some parts that because there are artists that do zoom in and they really go into detail, but I think they're more of a big picture kind of artist. And I like how for the patterns, you can see it's still a round brush, like these like striations or these like patterns over here. Even for the tail and for the actual like stockings and the crop top, it's just a basic round brush, and I do see a little bit of a of opacity in their uh, work. And again, it's a round brush, and the way they paint, it's not like they build up the paint, right, layer by layer or stroke by stroke. It's not like opaque. Oh, it reminds me of another artist named Wan Young Yun. I'm gonna write his name down on the side here. Wan Young, or is it Chojang? Is it Chojang or Wan Young Yun? And what's cool is they have a YouTube channel, so I do recommend you check out their work as well. But they also have like a very simple approach. I mean, their paintings, their illustrations, their artworks, they can get complex, but their methodology, their technique is just like a round brush. And they paint kind of in this way where they build it stroke by stroke and they allow the opacity to, or they use the opacity to their advantage. So if they want to blend things out, they will make the pen pressure lighter, right? If they want to darken things, they will darken the pen pressure, but also add more strokes to that area, right? Cool. And again, look at the outer lines here. Do you see how it's not super like smooth? It's kind of wavy here and there, right? It's okay. It's okay because it matters is the final image. I mean, kind of thing. Oh, here we have a cat. Damn. Oh, reminds me of obviously when it comes to thick girls, it has to be myinputwo. Let me just write their name down. Myinputwo. My input. Whoa. Um, and they do a little bit of rendering. Myinputwo, right? And they also have a simple way or a simple methodology. But I think for their line work, if you look at my input woes work, they're a bit more refined, more demure. Uh, um, ok- um, Kaga here is a bit more like straight to the point, and they don't mind being a bit more like not glitchy, but just more a little rough, right? Very Okinawanogori esque. Look at this breakdown of this cat. We have like the skeleton here at the bottom, some muscle anatomy, just the basics, just to chunk it out, and then the how the fur looks like. And oftentimes people skip this because yeah, it's nice to know the anatomy, but more often than not, we see the outsides, right? So we need to learn how to draw like the fur and stuff like that. For example, for the human anatomy or for human figures in general, yeah, it's good to know anatomy, but oftentimes we forget like how fat works, and even after the fact, how clothes, clothing fabrics work around the human figure. So I think there needs to be another section of our studies where you actually focus on the outside stuff, not just the muscles and the bones, right? And again, the line work kind of, it's just straight to the point. No, um, I'm trying to find a way to say it, but it's just not as refined. But it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing because it works, right? But look at how the rendering of this area over here. I mean, this is pretty much like polished to an extreme level. So I do notice there are parts where they do spend a bit more time rendering the thing. It's gonna be like usually the the parts that I'm gonna assume they like the most. So it's gonna be like the belly, the torso, the thighs. The face is nice too. I mean the hair obviously, but and again they do have a habit of like boldening out those lines at the edge. Oh, if you zoom in after that dark line over here, there's another bold line outside of that black line, and it's like a white. It's almost like they're using white out ink, right? Just to help that tail pop out even more, right? To set it apart from the fabric in this part of the body. But look at that, very cat-esque. I like how they're trying to copy the animal nature, the feralness, of the cat or the lizard, right? Into the human figure. I mean, look at that eyes. I mean, this is where it's at, you know. Oh, kawaii. Okay, so we have a cat here looking up at you. So kind of the same thing. She's trying to be cute, demure. Um, maybe she wants you to pet, kind of pat or pet her head, right? I mean, look at that back though. I mean, she is thick, like a freaking frog. Just about to leap at you. Wow. But again, look at how the rendering. I think they do spend a little more time with the legs. So this guy Kaga or this chick, this artist, is definitely a leg person. The facial features too. Again, you can even see in this view the round brush. You know, I don't think they're using a separate brush for the line work. I think the brush they're using for the rendering is the same brush they're used for the drawing. So that's pretty cool. It's very efficient. Saves a lot of time. I mean, look. Oh my god. Oh, it's the excuse me. I was just drinking coffee. This is the loaf position, I believe, because cats do like this. It's sort of a resting position for cats where they just sort of turn into a loaf of bread, right? So that's the inspiration here. But look at this lady, respectfully, obviously, but damn, right? Yeah, the line work is less apparent in the legs. Look at how in the head and even in the arms, the fingers, it's not as rendered. So it means you're gonna see more of these like construction lines. They do spend a little more time refining, say, the outer lines again, just to clean up that silhouette. But everything inside it is a bit sort of sketchy. But um, yeah, everything here is like, and I like how they can capture like the subtle shifts in value, especially with like super like smooth and organic, chunky forms, right? And it actually looks like they're wearing leggings or something. Oh, it reminds me of another artist named. It's a spicy content artist named Doppel, Doppel. For those of you who know, they're kind of out there. So, and of course, I can't not mention Mamimi. Although for them they mostly do nudes or not as usually clothed people, but if you want to study some clean rendering, especially when it comes to like organic forms, human figure, women, or like thighs and stuff like that, or learning how to like paint fat and not just like the whole muscle thing. What's her name again? Mamimi. Ma- So I'm gonna write these whenever I mention artists. I'll try writing them down or posting them in the description below as well. So just to help you. By the way, if you have any recommended artists who are kind of the same, write it in your comments so people can see. Because I can't always remember even the artists that I've reviewed because I have so many art reviews right now. You know what? Another artist that I may recommend. You know what? I won't be able to remember their names, but maybe after the recording of this video, I will try to find them in my like library of art reviews that I've already done, and I can like link them or type them down or their names anyway, and you can just do your thing and search them yourselves. Oh, so this whole thing was kind of recent, like the rendering stuff. They can do more inkier stuff, kind of like this, like manga esque. Pretty cool. So this one does have a little bit of rendering, but it's very basic. Super light grayscale. Oh, I like the inks of this one. Very sort of gritty, very rough. Oh, even the way the eye was done, you could have just drawn a line here, right? But in their case, they did this whole dashy thing. Pretty cool. Um, yeah, people have so many techniques in uh that they figured out on their own, and I think it's a good thing to actually zoom in so you can, in a way, copy, right, and save time. Because one of these ways of drawing can be, it could make more sense to you. So you'll never know. You have to actually try it out. Oh, this one's a bit more colored. It does look a little more pastel-esque, the texture. So they are using texture brushes for this one. It does look more like a dry media sort of painting. Very chalk-ish, pastel-esque. Very kawaii. So a vampire chick, given the fangs maybe, with a nice Glock, right? Sending bullet loves or love bullets to you or your way. Maybe Kai Uruna. Is that a good artist to mention? Kai Uruna? Kai Urana? Oh, this one does remind me of a lot of Okinawanogori's work. Just because it's number one, traditional, and number two, line work heavy. Uh, and again, look at how wavy, a little wavy those lines are, and that's okay. It works. It works. Was this a video? Let me just see their process for a bit. Okay. So very rough drawing in the beginning, and then they just paint on top of it. Sorry, excuse me, directly. There are artists who are a bit more like organized when it comes to their layering, but I think Kaga is more of the like yeah, they will have a rough sort of line work, but they just sort of paint on top of it somewhat immediately. And the idea is to paint over those initial line work or lines. And I think that's a more direct. If you're not very good with organized, like polished stuff or polished sort of layer management system, this is a good sort of approach to have because in the end you can get something pretty polished, pretty like high quality, but the way to get there can be very different, can be very sort of like this and just straight to the point. Pretty cool. Oh, this one definitely is giving Kai Urana. Meow. Reminds me of that cat person from I haven't watched the full anime, but Dungeons or Delicious Dungeon something. And apparently a lot of people have been into that character. The boys mainly. Nice suit studies. Oh, they're using a is that a clutch pencil? A 1.0 mm, right? A thick one. Ooh. So yeah, I think they can change their styles a bit, or it's sort of like they have a spectrum of styles. Some is more, or some are more line heavy, some are more like just painted, right? Very interesting. There, oh, GTEC or some kind of gel pen. Yeah, pretty cool. Oh, the halftones. And in this case, the pen or the inks, they have a bit of a bleed in the end. So I'm guessing they're using some kind of felt tip pen, sort of a. I think this is in Clips with the paint, my guess. Oh yeah, the halftones with that felt tip look, pretty cool. Kawaii, kawaii. There you go. Oh, look at them knees. They look very. Oh, they're using the iPad. Oh shit. And I love how they were able to capture the texture of that electric guitar. For those of you who've seen it, you don't have to actually use one, but if you've seen or passed by a music shop, that texture, that sort of matte esque gloss, not glossy, it's more matte texture. I've seen that before in an electric guitar. So to be able to like demonstrate that texture, very very cool. Oh, these are more realistic, like renderings, right? So it's not just like the way they're drawing or painting. It's the subject itself. This is more semi realistic. Yeah, but I think recently they've been going more into like the anime, like stylized sort of stuff. Oh my! This is Asuka. Get it, Asuka? Okay, stop. Just because I mean, come on, it's not that refined, right? Um, so she does, or this person likes them a little thicker. Again, I do like the fact that they do have a type, thick legs, thick legs. Because in the Evangelion series, most of the characters are sort of more petite, more thin. Even if they're taller, they're still sort of thin esque, right? Or thin adjacent. Sailor Moon, Oh. I also just looking at their feed here on Instagram. They like folds as well, clothing. And again, you don't really see a lot of texture work. It's just straight to the point. Uh, very focused on value or building up the values. And when they don't paint, when they do stuff more like this, they're pretty good at hatching too. It does look a lot more organic as well. Um, Let me just go back to the top. This one is 10,000 points for me. Look at that. Oh. I'm not sure why she's holding something. Is that a spear? I'm guessing it's a spear. Uh, she did have an extremely brutal death. Super sad, but very epic too. Like Asuka is, I believe, the best fighter out of all the pilots. The other one would have to be, I guess, Mari. I know she wasn't in the original like anime, but like she was only in the movies. But the way she fought, I think Asuka and Mari are the top dogs. Way better than Shinji and Ray. And I forgot the other guy because I think he did pilot an Ava a little bit. But yeah, the top dogs, second top dog Mari in terms of fighting, top dog would have to be Asuka. Let's go further up. And yeah, so let me just go back to the first one or to the most recent one. I mean, look at this. Look, I do see a little bit of that orange in some parts here. What about the edge of the light and shadow? Um, ooh. I forgot what that's called. It's that there's a term for it. Although I usually see it in skin rather than like actual clothing. Subsurface scattering maybe. But again, at orange, I do often see it mostly in skin. So, but it works. It gives a little bit of color to the piece. I believe this is called. It's like a pouch, right? There's a bit of fat here. Um, I know this is where the womb is. Some of you have mentioned it. It is the womb. So there's gonna be some pouch here. It reminds me of. Oh, there's a picture of. I forgot the actress's name. Uh, uh, the woman from Pretty Woman. It's an old movie. Basic Pretty Woman. Julia Roberts. Like she has a cousin or a niece, I think, who's also an actress. But that niece, hopefully, I'm remembering the. I think it's her niece. She has a photo of her pouch on her profile, and I remember seeing like the comments, like the women, they couldn't understand like what was so popular about it, but it was actually the pouch. Like I'm gonna have to draw it. It's right here. Although you can't really see it here because you're seeing it from the front end, but she was standing kind of this is the head, right? You're seeing the profile view or side view. So this is her body, right? But her pouch was so apparent. And because some girls get kind of insecure because there's like a bias towards like thinness, I guess. So they couldn't understand like why was this so attractive, but this is like peak femininity, I believe. Now I'm not saying if you don't have it, you're not peak. It's just it's nice, It's like a you know you can like lay your head on it. Yeah. Anyway, let's not be too analytical about these stuff. But yeah, if you look at their brushwork, I don't think they're using any other brushes aside from the basic round brush. No apparent strong textures here. It all ends up looking kind of smooth. And I would recommend Wan Young Yin because he does a lot of these types of renderings as well. And what's cool, again, he has videos of him. And I think he even has a video, like a 7-hour video of him painting this. I think it's a blonde chick with like a blue dress. 7 hours for free on YouTube. So check that out. So anyway, that's it for this art review of Kaga. Hopefully you enjoyed their work because I know I definitely do. I mean, look at this. Even without the render, I mean, obviously the rendering just takes it to a different sort of level, right? Oh, we forgot this. Let me check this one out. Oh, there's also another artist. I forgot her name, but they like to draw chunky female figures too. Um, their names sound so. I can't tell if they're like are they Eastern European. It sounds like Russian. Like I see a lot of like Z's and V's. It's one of those names, like Jev. It's like Mongolian. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, chunky. Now this one's more like Cleopatra esque, just because of the attire, like the ornaments in the body. It feels like it anyway. The one is based on a cat, the other is based on a wolf. Very interesting, right? I like the rendering. It's very inviting, but very impressive as well. Like it seems like it's easy to look at. Like, oh, like it feels easy to do. Sorry, but I know it's not easy to actually do. Yeah, because I guess it's because there's nothing getting in the way. There's no like extra like color dodge effects. No brush textures. It's just like straight to the point dominance. Oh, she has a long tail. Is that a tail? Oh no. Oh no. But yeah. So, this one's more of a bunny girl. Looks like it. Right. Kawaii. So that's it for this art review. Oh, I love those hands. They're so like clunky, but kind of feminine, but aggressively feminine. Oh, meow. I love the heart hole for detail. Oh, come on. Right, there you go. Oh, more rendering stuff here. Yep, it's on their iPad. Look at the core shadows. Let me just zoom in. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Right here. How this is darker. So, yeah. It's like a fundamental thing you learn in like art, but once you see it applied in like actual art, oh look at that pouch again. Like all of this, very rendered. Um, it shows you that you need to get good at the fundamentals. In this case, I think first of all, drawing they're good in drawing, but also the value, how they render it, even in just grayscale, how they're able to make it look so convincing and make it look like it's 3D or it has volume. I think they're very good in that kind of thing. And yeah, the style range are pretty good at that too. So yeah. So I will try after this video or after this recording, taking down notes of artists who are kind of the same from past art reviews I've done. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.